In the summer, I had this strong desire to go to Turkey. I had this strong desire to go to Turkey. I booked an Airbnb and everything. Come summertime, the plans folded. It just never happened. Let's just say it never happened. Um, and I was like researching which part of Turkey I wanted to go to. I was supposed to go to, was it Izmir? I think it was Izmir. I was so excited and it just never happened. So gutted. I really, really wanted to go to Turkey. I was talking to Turkish people saying I was going to their country. I don't know, like this year I really, really wanted to go to Turkey. I wanted to go to Ephesus. I wanted to go to those regions. I had to be around the Eastern Aegean. And that was my plan. And it just never happened because of circumstances, situations. You know, when things just prevented you from going, like it just didn't work out. But I had this strong desire to go to Turkey. Well, I had a mission. There was a mission for me to go there. I had a mission, and I even um, contacted quite a prominent person in Turkey. But there was just this pull for me to go to Turkey. And then come this couple of weeks, we're finding out that the Pope, the new Catholic Pope, had a mission. Like he did a state visit to Turkey and visited the old Council of Nicaea, which was back in, let me Google it, Council of Nicaea, which is a really like ancient place in Turkey. The first Council of Nicaea. And this is a very significant time for Orthodox because that's when, you know, before that, the whole, like the early Christians, everybody was Orthodox. But then during the first Council of Nicaea, that was when the Roman Catholic Church split. And then the Orthodox Christians, which I am, you know, they had an argument over a doctrine and they split. This meeting was really, really important because at the time, the whole like Europe was Orthodox, North Africa was Orthodox Christian, Ethiopia was Orthodox, and Turkey was the center of the Holy Empire, the religious monotheistic Constantinople was like the head of the Christian capital, like Rome is basically. And everybody was Orthodox. But come this Council of Nicaea, then the exact date was, where is this Wikipedia? Okay. It was a 325 AD after Christ. And it was the first ecumenical council of the Christian church. So at the time, everybody was Orthodox. They had a meeting in Iznik, Turkey. There was a big old castle where they all, like all Orthodox, well, there's even a fresco of it, of all the church leaders congregating from around the world. So even the people of Britain, you know, who were Orthodox, they were present. The Ethiopian priests were there. So they all met up. See, you've got the Indian priest. They all met up and they discussed something about a religious doctrine. And part of the reason was, so Constantine I. It was called by the Emperor Constantine I, an unbaptized catechumen who presided over the opening session and took part in discussions. He hoped a general council of the church would solve the problem created in the Eastern Church by Arianism. So that was like a different sect. A heresy first proposed by Arius of Alexandria that affirmed that Christ is So basically, this heretic was trying to change the religion. So yeah, Arianism is like a cult. It's not real, and it was spreading. So they all met up to resolve the controversy over the relationship between the persons of the Trinity. Now, as I'm a Christian, the Holy Trinity is just three in one. Some Christians had a problem with that. They could not accept Christ in three forms. Like they didn't have the comprehension to understand what three in one means, which is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And that's what the whole meeting of the First Council of Nicaea was about, to clear that. So that's why they condemned the Arians who didn't believe in that. So to further define orthodoxy, the council, which was with reluctance on the part of some, incorporated the non-conscriptural word homoousios as of one substance. The influence of Arianism persisted in the church for centuries. Okay, the council attempted but failed to establish a uniform date for Easter. So another thing was they tried to change the date to line it up with the pagan religions of Europe. That was part of it. So they were trying to change the date for Easter. It issued decrees on many other matters, including the proper method of consecrating bishops, a condemnation of lending money at interest by clerics, a refusal to allow bishops, priests, and deacons to move from one church to another. It also confirmed the primacy of Alexandria and Jerusalem over other areas. Socrates, in 5th century Byzantine historian, said that the council intended to make a canon enforcing celibacy of the clergy, but failed to do so when some objected. So they all had grievances, but most of it was about power. Basically Jerusalem wanted to be the power base, and some of them, Alexandria, which is Egypt, wanted to be the Christian capital. So a Christian statement of faith, because it's accepted as authoritative by the Roman Catholic. Okay, the major Protestant churches, the Apostles and Athanasian creeds, are accepted by some, but not all of these churches. History. So that's what the Council of Nicaea was about when they came to discuss, and all the churches around the world, were discussing, especially the Eucharist as well. Eucharist. So this new American Pope went to Turkey to try and revive the Council of Nicaea, but this time to unite those Christian sects that divided Orthodox, Catholics, and probably Protestants as well. But he wanted to unite Christians. So the Council of Nicaea divided up Christianity as we know it, but he wanted to unite Orthodoxy with Catholic. And that's why he went there. And when he went there, he was also visiting, the Orthodox churches that are being persecuted in Turkey. So isn't it so ironic that, I had the strong desire to go to Turkey, and then this meeting happened. And I just find it really interesting because a lot of the Orthodox priests are saying, Christians are really being heavily persecuted right now. So it's nice that the Pope went to recognize those Christians being persecuted in those regions of the world, like the Middle East and Turkey, where they're being repressed. And yeah, I still want to go to Turkey. I have to visit Turkey. I think it would be so good. And I just need to go there. So I just thought I'll just let you know what's going on, and I've been watching the news on it. And let me see if I can screenshot something, because I think it's so interesting. Oh, that's, I don't know why it's not live streaming. Why am I not showing? Wow, 1,700 years ago. True. history. It's not 120 patriarch Antioch. This is something he's a really like patriarch of the Orthodox Church in Turkey. And there's a very amazing video. It's really inspiring and kind of like I feel like really sad for him that he's so proud of the history of being a patriarch, yet he's not allowed to be openly spreading the good news to the people of Turkey, like because of the region he's in and the anti-Christianness that they're currently living in. It's so tragic. It is so tragic to see that the Patriarch of Antioch, Saint Ignatius, well, he's named after Saint Ignatius. I know he's one of the main patriarchs. And I just really need to go to Turkey. And I was just, it just inspires me to want to go there. I want to meet the Patriarch. I want to have a word with him and speak to him. Because I feel like the people of Turkey, the non-Christian ones, they have a history of Christianity, but they were forced to become Muslim. A lot of them are secular. They really want to join the faith, but there is such an anti-Christianness in Turkey at the moment, like so much oppression, and also a cost of living crisis as well. Like the cost of the economy has really gone up, and he even said like his ancestral land is Turkey. And he wants to go back. Anyways, his video was so inspiring. It was such an inspiring video. I loved it. And this is the reason why I need to get to Turkey. I need to go there very soon. I don't know, it's like something stopping me from going this summer. But I'm going to make sure I go to Turkey. I just need to be there. I need to be in Antioch. I need to be in Istanbul. I need to be in Izmir. I want to go to Marmaris. I've been researching the regions. I want to go to Zaz, which is on the border between Syria. Shush. So you stole my phone.